met him when I was 17. He was 26 at the time. And yeah.
Why did I not know that? Why did I not know that? She was 17 and he was 26. Wow. Why did I not know that? That's a red flag to me. What's up, Solicit Nation? It's your girl Nikki, and I'm back with another Unsolicited Truth Reaction. Hello if you're new, welcome back if you're not. If you enjoy the content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below so we can keep this party going. And please, guys, continue to watch the ads, continue to hit the thanks button, continue to subscribe, continue to hit the join button, which is in the top right-hand corner on the main channel page, so you can also get access to exclusive live content, exclusive discounts to merch, exclusive perks. I got a whole bunch of stuff coming, trust me. I'm always narking, bruh. But anyway, I'm about to get into this Justina video. I've been asking this, first of all, wow, okay, with how it started out. That thumbnail is thumbnailing. But I've been asking this question. Oh my gosh, shut up. I've been asking this question for a while now. What happened to Justina and Brian? So Justina is going to tell us in her own words what happened between her and Brian. So I'm not gonna hold this up. Why I broke up with him, Jasena Odell. Let's get straight to the video. I'm super interested to hear what happened here.
Hey, long time no see.
What's up, mama?
Guys, this feels really weird. This feels weird for me. I haven't done, as you guys know, I haven't done YouTube videos of my own.
Papa Jolly Rancho.
Hold on, let's check the receipts. I haven't sat here and talked to the camera in like 10 months.
Damn.
So I feel a little uncomfortable. I do. Also, as you know, I have been putting off having this conversation with you guys for far too long. And I figured, okay, it's time. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. And it's not going to be easy for me, guys. It's not, because I'm healing right now, and I'm in a really vulnerable place. So be gentle with me.
Buckle up, y'all. Yeah,
it's
for real.
Really...
In my comments as well, I want you guys to be respectful to both Brian and Justina, regardless of what Justina says about him, regardless of what he may have said about her, or how you may interpret his behavior as of late. Please keep it respectful to everyone in the comments, including each other, okay?
It's easy to cram a whole lot of drama, 8 years of it, into one video, you know.
8 years, damn.
So, yeah, let's get
They were together for 8 years.
Well, before I really address what everybody's dying to know, why did we break up? I want to first acknowledge you guys. I want to thank you guys for, oh God, not me getting emotional already. What the heck? I literally had a whole pep talk with myself before this video started. And I was like, girl, you are not going to cry right now. Like, you've been crying enough. It's time to be strong. I've been asking God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it. I've been asking for strength. So I'm like, you're not crying. I'm probably going to cry.
That's all right, baby. Let it out. Let it out.
Bear with me. So I just want to thank you guys for being so patient. I want to thank you guys for being so supportive. And I want to say that I'm truly sorry. I'm really sorry that it took me so dang long to let you guys.
Y'all gotta stop apologizing. Justina did that. I mean, Zasha did that. Josh did that. Y'all gotta stop apologizing. I get the need to want to explain when you have a group of supporters. I understand the dedication to want to explain and kind of let you guys in, but don't apologize. You shouldn't apologize for life happening, because then what happens is that gives people allowance to attack you for just living your life. Like if you ever need to take time off or do something or whatever the case may be, people, when you apologize for life happening to you, people think that they are allowed to judge you based on life happening to you. So I always say that, don't apologize for life.
Guys and know what's going on. It was a really, really hard experience for me these last 12 or so months, if not longer, like a year or so. Has been really hard for me, and
they've probably been doing that breakup makeup cycle for the last year and some change.
That I just couldn't find it in myself to
because they've definitely been very inconsistent over the last, I would say, year or so, from what I could tell. That's what I started. I don't know when I started asking. I think I probably started asking, which I think maybe like 5 or 6 months ago.
You guys in on what was going on, and I just don't like that. You know, we took a lot of pride in being very vulnerable with you guys and open with you guys about everything in our relationship. So for us to just literally go from that to being completely ghost and leaving you guys high and dry, I don't like that that's how we decided to handle it.
I understand that.
If I could do it all again, I would definitely choose to at least have acknowledged that we were going through something and that we needed to take a step back from YouTube and everybody and just like deal with it on our own. I would have loved to have handled it that way. You know, for you guys out there that took it really personal, because some of you guys really did take it hard, I'm sorry, and I hope you can accept my apology.
No, see, that's the problem. That's the problem, is that people who don't know the persons took it personal. Y'all, bro, oh my God. I am so grateful for Solicit Nation. I am so grateful for y'all. I love the way that you guys support me, but when I have to step away or when I'm going through something, y'all don't make me feel guilty about life happening. You know what I'm saying? I am truly blessed, and I hope that as the nation continues to grow, we will continue to cultivate that kind of relationship. But I honestly think that what helps us have that kind of relationship is I don't give you guys, like I give a lot to you guys about who I am, but there's just certain things I hold back and I keep for myself. And I think that as an entertainer or as, you know, a social media personality or a content creator, however you want to say it or describe yourself, I think that you have to remember that there are things about you that you have to hold back in order to maintain some kind of semblance of control and privacy in your life. So I get what she's saying, but the people who took it personal, you know, grow up. Grow the hell up. That's not your life. You took it personal. She the one that's living through it. And people took it personal? Why would you take it personal? Like, that's crazy. If this channel ended today, right now, and I had no explanation for it, I really want to know how many in Solicit Nation would take that personal. How many of y'all would literally take that personal? Like, that's crazy to me. Why would you take it personal? You don't even know what's happened to me. What if something tragic happened? Like, that's, bro, people are reckless. It's the same shit that's going on right now with Freen and Becky. I'm going to get into that later. But it's the same shit that's going on with them. It's like people live vicariously through other people. And when shit don't work out the way they think it should work out, they want to start attacking the people that are involved in literally living through the thing, all because of the way it looks to you. You're mad about your perspective. You're mad about the way it looks. They literally have to live this thing out. Folks got to grow up.
I'm trying to be back like I never left.
That's immaturity.
So enough about that. Now let's get into the real nitty gritty.
All right.
Let me get some liquid courage.
I feel you, baby.
Yeah.
I feel
For
you.
those of you guys that's new here, I'm gonna kind of try to start from the beginning, give you a little bit of background. My name is Justina. This channel used to be a couples channel for about 2 years. I'm recently out of an 8-year relationship.
Woo.
I met him when I was 17. He was 26 at the time. And yeah.
Why did I not know that? Why did I not know that? She was 17 and he was 26. Wow. Why did I not know that? That's a red flag to me. I know some of y'all think y'all mature enough at 17 to be dating somebody who's damn near 30, but it's the reason. I'm not even, 26 and 17. Let me hit play. Let me just let her talk.
We've been together for like 8 years.
Why did it sound so low?
And yeah. God, what the heck? Get together, Santa. Get your shit together. I am currently going through a transition of really being single for like the first time in my adult life.
Yes. Oh my God.
My ex and I, throughout the 8 years, we had broken up twice before this time, the final time. Each of those times was like a couple months each time. The thing is about adulting, like you start to realize that a couple months is like nothing. A couple months goes by so fast. So I kind of feel like now I'm navigating being actually single, like single, not going back for the first time.
She said that definitively, y'all.
I literally went from living with my family when I was 17 to turning 18 and moving in with him right away. And I never experienced being on my own. That's what I'm going through right now. And it's a lot. It's a lot.
I have so much. Y'all see it on my face, right? I have so much I want to say about that 26 and 17 thing. Because y'all started dating when you were 17. When did he start showing interest in you? 16? Even if it was 17. Justina looks hella young. I can't imagine what she looked like at 17. 26? Sir, you are on the better side of you are closer to 30 than you are to 20. 26 and 17? And as soon as she turned 18, she moved in with him? That means they would have at least been dating for at least a year and some change? Oh, this is giving Marcus Houston. Wow. Wow. Dare I use the term groomer? I think, I'm sorry. Y'all think y'all grown at 17, and I remember being 17. Shit, I remember being 22. My niece is 15 years old. My oldest niece is 15 years old. 2 years. 2 years from being 22. I mean, from being 15. If a 24 or 25-year-old man were to approach her right now, let me see, she's 15. The difference between them was what? 26 and 17. So if a 24-year-old man approaches my 15-year-old niece, that's the age difference right there. So how old was he when he approached her? How old was she when he approached her? Y'all, it's giving groomed. It's giving groomed. It's giving groomed. Oh my God.
I'll kind of, I guess, get into what happened and why we're not together anymore. Let's just say, guys, that a lot of really messy, horrible things happened behind the camera.
Of course it did. You were a
I'm going
baby.
to talk about as much of it as I can without sharing too much. People can be really harsh online. And there are some things that I'm just not willing to share and put out there. I also don't need you guys running to defend me and to, maybe treat him like crap or,
like I said, I'm going to be honest. This is the unsolicited truth. I'm going to be honest with my interpretation and my take on this, but I am not here to bash anyone. I am literally just reacting to the situation. This is not a personal attack against anyone, but I'm sorry. I'm going to call a spade a spade. It's giving groomed. It's giving groomer. It's giving groomee. It's giving grooming. It's giving groomed. Okay?
And I really and truly don't need that. I'm just trying to be in a place of healing and positivity so that I can let all of that go and move on. So just please don't do that. Don't do that. But where do I
respect her wishes, y'all?
Being with somebody who's that much older than you and that being your first relationship, I allow myself...
Girl, look, I'm looking at you, you looking at me, we looking at us, we looking at we, like... What?
To deal with things that now looking back,
I got so much I want to say,
going
but I'm
through
gonna
it and getting the wisdom that, you know, I could have gotten from other relationships if I had been in other relationships before that one. Now looking back, I'm like, oh my God, like it's like embarrassing, honestly. Like, I try not to be embarrassed, but you know, it feels embarrassing because it's just like I would never allow somebody to do the things that he did. Now I wouldn't.
Yeah, well, you were a child, so
manipulate me.
Was he
I let
on
myself be manipulated. The sad part is like through all of the toxic things that happen, I always knew that he had done things, you know, that he wasn't being honest about, but I wanted to believe in him and I wanted to believe that he was telling me the truth. But my intuition always, you know, was saying something different. It just feels like
your intuition, guys. It'll
like
never
you
leave you wrong.
Knew all this already, pretty much. Like your intuition had been telling you that he was doing some stuff and not being honest about it. You know, all the time. Yeah, I just want to put out there to anybody,
trust your
that
intuition.
Finds himself being in a position that I was in, that sometimes, a lot of times, your intuition is your proof.
Yeah, okay, that's all you should need. Girl, what? Let me tell you something. My intuition is so strong. My sense of discernment is so keen that if I get a gut feeling about something, that's literally all I need. I go with that. So there's times when people have done things or said things, and in their mind, they think that they being slick. They think they being cool. They think they done covered up their true intentions. My intentions tell me otherwise, and I start moving differently with them, and they look at me like I'm the one that changed up. And I'm like, no, I just sensed what was in you. I sensed your intentions. I sensed that shit, bro. And I'm like, I immediately go in another. I don't play that. I only need to see one red flag. I'm not the type of person that needs to see flag after flag after flag. I don't need hardcore evidence. I don't need hardcore proof, because the only person that needs to be convinced of what I'm feeling is me. You don't have to agree. You can sit there and defend yourself till you blue in the face. The only person that needs to understand and trust in what I'm feeling is me. That's it. I'm the only one that needs to be convinced, not you.
Proof. I don't have proof of this. I don't have proof of that. And so I'm just going to choose to believe them.
Nah, that.
Reality is that a lot of times you're not going to actually have proof.
Facts.
And your proof is the fact that something feels off. What they're saying doesn't totally add up. That's your proof. And I had to learn that the hard way. So don't be like me, kids.
That's okay, baby.
Basically, a lot happened in our relationship. I was young. I made mistakes. He made mistakes. A lot of it was swept under the rug. It would be about maybe like a year ago or a year and a half ago. I had this realization through going through like such deep depression and getting away from him and everybody. I literally rented a cabin by myself in Yosemite and stayed there and just cried and just took time for myself. And I had this realization then that the relationship I was in was not the relationship I
Isolation is a power tool.
And
don't forget to put it in your bag.
Hard.
Your self-care bag.
It was so hard, guys. When I tell you, I just wanted so badly to stay blindly in love.
Of course.
And then out of nowhere, it just felt like the universe just like ripped
the veil off,
blindfolds off of me and showed me all of the toxicity. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Mind you, I still didn't know a lot that I know now.
Damn.
But I could see all the ways that I was constantly being made felt like I wasn't enough. I could see all the ways I needed.
And I'm not gonna hold you. The age dynamic puts him at an advantage when it comes to mental, emotional, and even physical manipulation. Because my man almost got a decade on her. You see what I'm saying? He was 26, she was 17. That's 9 years. My man almost got a decade on her. That's damn near a whole generation of gap. That's a generational gap. The level of influence he must have had over her at that time, and the reason why I keep going back to their age when they first got together is because if they met when she's 26 and there's a 9-year difference and he's 35, 35, that's not a big deal. You see what I'm saying? Because she's already lived, she's an adult. But when you meet at 17 and 26, Hold on, that is 9 years, right? Hold on, I gotta do my math now. Let me see. Yeah, that's 9 years, right? At 17 to 26, that's 10 years. You might as well round that shit up. That's 10 years. The level of influence he must have had over every decision that she made, not to mention her development as a young woman. He met her as a child. She didn't become a woman until she became a woman as she was with him. And I can't imagine how his behavior and his conditioning and his influence, his manipulation corroded or eroded her into and molded her into the woman that she is today. And now she got to kind of undo all that and get to know Justina without the influence of Brian. That's just, again, this is not me attacking him. This is not me attacking anyone. This is observational. You have to understand, it doesn't matter. You take the names out and put anybody in that situation, any 26-year-old, male or female, in a relationship with any 17-year-old, male or female, is going to have a significant amount of influence over that child. Makes you wonder why you would get in a relationship with somebody you could have or want to have that level of control over. I want somebody who thinks freely for themselves, and we can come together and have collaborative thoughts and efforts to move forward in a beautiful building relationship. I do not want somebody I can control and mold into a slave or a servant for me. That's not what I want. That's crazy.
Heal and just like even grow on my own. I tried to do it in a relationship with a person who wasn't secure enough to be able to hold space for me.
Nikki Damas.
So instead, I was felt like I wasn't a good girlfriend, like I wasn't enough. And I just felt like that relationship was literally sucking my energy and draining me a lot of times. Now, mind you, I don't want to just be completely negative. Look, things aren't always all one way. I mean, of course, we have
there's always two
moments too, and that's why I allowed myself to be blind for so long, because I'm like, yeah, but how can, this person who's willing to, surprise me all the time and take me on trips and tell me how he, loves me more than anybody.
That's a part of the manipulation. That's the honeymoon phase.
Like, that's what he would say to me. Like, how could that be bad for me? Like, that's what it felt like at the time. Until I eventually started to realize, like, wait, like, this is not...
You got to always check the intentions behind what people do. Regardless of the gifts they give you, what's the intention? If every time you get a gift, it's in response to something that was done to hurt you, whether intentional or non-intentional, that is not a gift. That is a Band-Aid, okay? A gift comes without reason. A gift comes without condition except for love. Just pure love and enjoyment and wanting to see you happy. If the gift comes on the hinges of falling outs, breakups, arguments, betrayals, those are not gifts. Those are bandages. And eventually you're going to look at those gifts and you're going to realize that they are bandages, and you're going to become resentful towards those gifts. And you're also going to become resentful towards the person who's giving the gifts, because you realize this ain't got shit to do with actually seeing me happy or love. This has got everything to do with you trying to make yourself, put yourself in a better light with me again.
How it's supposed to be. You shouldn't put anybody above yourself.
Period.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you are in a relationship, in a way, they do come before other people, because that's who you spend every day with.
Other people, but not you.
I let myself be so convinced, guys, that he had to be my everything. That he had to literally be more important than anything and everything.
I would love to hear Natalie and Josh's take on this. And then I just
had to realize the hard way, like, no, I need to be able to put myself first. That's wrong,
their little
actually.
Sister.
How
26?
am I supposed to feel like I have enough energy for anything
that means he's
else
older
if
than
this
Josh.
one person is taking all of it? And anytime I did find myself trying to put energy into anything else, even just hanging out with my family, I was being made felt bad about that. And that's not helpful.
That's a red flag. Isolation. When somebody tries to isolate you so that no one else has influence over your life, or so that no one else has access to you the same way they have access to you, that is a major, major, major red flag. Being isolated from family and friends, making that person wanting you to make them your whole world, that it's giving narcissism. It's giving grooming, it's giving manipulating, it's giving narcissistic. Those are the 3 red flags I've seen so far. Damn, girl.
Anyway.
The thing, see, this is, hold on real quick, one more time. This is the reason why I say never judge a book by its cover, and that you think that you know what's going on in people's lives. Now, on the outside looking in, Justina and Brian appeared to me, and again, I didn't watch them maybe as frequently as some of you other people. Maybe some of you guys saw the red flags long before I saw the red flags, but I never really paid attention to them except for if they were featured in like an Easy X Natalie video, or, you know, just doing something with the family. And of course the cameras are on, so they was always on. I was under the impression for a long time that they were the healthiest couple out of the 3 Odell couples. Turns out they were the most unhealthiest, or the most unhealthy, however you say that.
I felt like the universe just took the blindfolds off my eyes, and I was able to see all this toxicity and see all the ways even in him that I just realized I did not actually want in a partner. Things that I, you know, felt along the way, like I could see things about him that I was just like, I don't like that, you know. But I would tell myself like, well, stop like being judgmental, you know what I mean? Like, let him be him and just stop judging him, you know. But then eventually I started to realize, like, no, that's okay that you don't like those things. That's right. Those things are not healthy.
That's right.
You know. And so I broke up with him. It was hard. I cried. It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. Even hurting him and telling him that I wanted to leave him, even after realizing that there was a lot of toxicity in our relationship.
I get it.
That he was also, you know, putting into it. It hurt so bad to hurt him.
I get it.
Because I loved him.
I get it.
After we had broken up, during that time, it was really, really rough on me. I was going through
your mind and your heart don't always match, man.
Really painful things. I was very depressed. Felt like I couldn't really get out of bed. I also couldn't acknowledge what was going on to you guys because I was just in such a low place. I was in bed like every day, eating like crap, not working out, not, you know what I mean, like not doing anything that would keep me healthy and happy. I low-key, high-key just didn't want to be here anymore. I just felt
I understand that. Look, baby, I get that. I get that. That is nothing to be ashamed of. People who have, you know, thoughts of, you know, ending themselves, and I don't want to say the other word because, you know, YouTube kind of flags stuff like that, but, you know, you can never judge a person's reason for no longer wanting to be here. All you can do is provide them with support, let them know that they are loved, let them know that they are valued. But I tell people, I used to be a I'll say fluicide. I used to be a fluicide prevention coach, which I didn't like. I never liked that term, fluicide prevention, because I was like, you can't prevent someone from doing that if they truly want to do that, because it has nothing to do with you. I personally know that if there is not a human being alive who has not thought of ending themselves. It's a part of human nature to think of, you know, when things get hard or things seem unbearable, an automatic way of escape is like, I could just not be here. Like that everyone goes through that. Do not ever feel ashamed about that. Do never hide that. If you do feel like that, please reach out and talk to someone so that they can show you and help remind you of your value. But you know, that's nothing to ever feel ashamed about. I tell people all the time, if you do feel like that though, please reach out. Please reach out to someone.
Too hard.
There are too many hotlines out there.
It just felt like way too hard.
Or reach out to your family.
And anyway, so out of nowhere, he shows up, boop, 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 knocking on my door, and my first reaction was like, no. Like, no, get up out of here. Especially because, like, I remember we were supposed to be friends, and that's what he was saying. We were going to be friends, right? And I was in such a vulnerable place that, like, when I would reach out to him and I needed somebody, I needed my best friend, who had been my best friend for all these years, you know? Which, yes, I did break up with him, but at the same time, I loved him, and I felt like I needed that support that he said that he was down to give me, you know? And then he just, like, went ghost. And so that obviously hurt. And when he had just randomly decided to show up at my door, I was like, this feels like a power play.
Yep.
Like, this
that's
feels
a good
why
call,
were you
Mama.
ignoring me all this time, and now all of a sudden, hey, I'm back.
And that's exactly what it was. And that's exactly what it was. He wanted you to want him, but he wanted to provide for you. He wanted you to want him, but he wanted it on his terms.
Make you breakfast. It was like, what? Like, why are you playing with my emotions like that?
Yeah.
You know? But also, mind you, like I said to you guys, I was in a really low place at the time, and he was saying all the right things. You know, he was telling me that he felt like God was bringing him in my life to help me and uplift me, and he was telling me...
I'm sorry to stop it again. Y'all should have known I was going to be doing a lot of stopping on this one. That is red flag. Hold on. That is red flag number 4. Red flag number 4, spiritual manipulation. Do not come and speak to me on behalf of God unless I ask you if God has been speaking to you on behalf of me. I do not, that's something that I don't, that was one of the main reasons why I left the church. I felt like, you know, I felt like a lot of people, Christians, people who follow religion, tend to do that. They tend to manipulate people with thus saith the Lord, and, you know, or the universe, or whatever kind of spiritual practices you partake in. I don't like that. Don't come and tell me that God spoke to you, because if God did speak to you on my behalf, then what you're saying should be a confirmation for me. Like, God should have, why would he be talking to you about me first and not talking to me? You see what I'm saying? And people go, oh, well, sometimes you can be shut off and you may not hear the messages and da-da-da-da-da. Then that's on me. Don't ever, when I do believe this, when you are given insight, spiritual insight to a person, I believe that is not meant for you to go and tell them what you've been told about them or what you've discerned about them. I believe that insight solely, the sole purpose of insight is so that you can know how to teach, so you can know how to treat a person. You know what I mean? Like, if I get insight about somebody, if I realize, okay, they got abandonment issues, and I pick up on that, it's not for me to go and tell them, hey, you know, you got abandonment issues, right? You need to deal with that. No, I can't stand that. I used to do that. Because I do have great discernment when it comes to people and their issues and different things like that, and their and analyzing behavior. But when I realized how toxic that was, it's not my job to tell somebody what's wrong with them. Most people won't even receive those kind of diagnoses without coming to that conclusion on their own. What I realized, like I said, insight is truly about, insight is learning how to treat someone. It's like, if I realize that you have abandonment issues, then it's my job to avoid any abandonment triggers in my behavior, right? If I love you, that's what I'm saying. If I love you, it's not meant for me to come and tell you got abandonment issues. Shit, you probably already know that. You may not know what it's called, but you probably already know that. It's just for me to learn how to deal with you and help you hopefully grow in a healthy way. That's just my belief. That's just my belief. If you want to get diagnosed, take your ass to a trained psychologist.
How
that's crazy, bro.
He was working on himself in all the ways that I didn't want out of a partner. And so I just kind of felt like, all right, well, who am I to say that he couldn't possibly really be having these type of conversations with God? You know, like, who am I to say that this is
because he knows that she's that kind of person.
It's the case. Of course, I wanted that to be the case. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just see where this goes. You know, let's just try to be friends and take it slow. Well, guys, it was too soon for that.
Yep.
Even though I wanted to convince myself that we took it slow, we didn't. I tried to set boundaries where I'm like, all right, you know, we're seeing each other literally every day. Like, I need
dating again,
to take time for myself. Those boundaries were never respected. I take responsibility in that as well.
Another red flag.
It goes both ways. I should have enforced the things that I was saying, and I didn't. I just wanted to be able to love him, and I wanted him to be able to love me in the way that I wanted us to be able to love each other. Mm-hmm. We just ended up seeing each other every day and stuff, and that might be why some of you guys could see us, like, you know, cuddled up on, like, my family's YouTube and stuff.
Oh, go ahead, girl. I see you, Justina. Go ahead and address it, baby. That's exactly, I'm glad that she addressed that, so that makes sense. But I kind of, you know, once I realized that they were going through something, I kind of figured they were going through a back and forth type deal. That's the energy it was given. It was definitely given break up, make up, break up, make up, just trying to figure it out. And when you put 8 years into a situation, if you think that breakup is going to be, some people may have done it, just, I guess it just depends on how badly it happens. But if you think that you break up one day after 8 years, right, you think you could just break up one day and that's going to be the end of it? Child, it's never that. It's never that. I know people who it took them, honestly, a good 2 years to break up. I know one couple that technically it's like 4 years now after they done broke up, and they still low-key trying to separate and figure it out. But that's also because they had been together since high school. So look,
still wondering, like, well, what the heck? They're not posting anything together though. Like, what's going on? Well, it's because we were so back and forth, guys. 1 minute I'm like, I want to believe him so bad that God sent him here to help uplift me, and then the next minute I'm like, oh my God, like I'm literally stuck in a toxic loop.
Which God
with you? Like hi Levi. It's Levi. So 1 minute I'm feeling like everything's great. The next minute I see how just the same things are happening over and over and over again. It just feels like we were literally stuck in a toxic loop, and I just couldn't get out of it. It just got worse. It got worse. It got to the point to where God said, like, look, you keep trying to make a shoe fit you that does not fit. And I had to literally be driven to the point to where I didn't have any choice but to break up with him. God has a way, universe, like she said, source, however you want to say it, has a way of removing people from your life. Forcibly, if necessary. I had to be embarrassed in front of my family. I had to be embarrassed in front of my friends.
Damn.
I needed him to do things that I didn't think he was capable of doing.
Wow.
Like, how could you be my best friend? How could you say that you love me more than anybody and anything, and then hurt me in the ways that you were willing to hurt me and embarrass me in front of my friends and my family? I just didn't... I had to go through that, though. I know that now. I had to go through it because I needed that.
Had to see that Tiger's Real Stripes.
That cycle to stop.
Yeah.
I needed to really be able to see things for what they were and to never go back. If everything didn't happen the way that it happened, there was always going to be a chance that I would go back.
Yep.
And that I would keep trying to make it something that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe when we first met, maybe it was right then. I believe everything happens for a reason, you know, and I learned so much through that relationship. I really did. So I wouldn't take...
I'm not going to judge nobody else's situation personally. I'm not judging anyone's situation personally, but I want to know, I want you guys to be honest in the comments below. How many of you guys think that at 17 years old, she was ready to be in a relationship with a 26-year-old? I want you guys to be honest. If you think that she can handle it, because maybe you've been through something like that, and maybe you still with that person to this day, that's fine, that's cool. Because I know that everybody's different. Justina does present as someone who is very mature for her age, so I can understand why she would think that she was ready to be in a relationship with a 26-year-old. But I need to understand why a 26-year-old thought that it was cool for them to be in a relationship with a 17-year-old. What would y'all have in common? What the hell would y'all have in common? Child, that she wasn't even old enough to vote or buy cigarettes. That went down the wrong way. She wasn't even old enough to vote or buy cigarettes, bruh, when they started dating. Where can you take her? She's not even old enough to get into a club. Where did y'all go? What did y'all do? What did y'all discuss? What were your conversations like? Child.
Take it back. But at the same time, I allowed myself to be so manipulated, and I allowed myself to just have blinders on and to just completely ignore all of the horrible things that I went through in that relationship. And it had to get as bad as it did. It had to get as bad as it did where the police are being called, because I needed to finally step up and love myself enough to freaking leave. To love myself enough to believe that I could love myself more than he could love me. or better than he could love me. And what's
That's right,
crazy
baby.
is that freaking Miley Cyrus song, like the Flowers song, that came out like around the same time as all of this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I really let myself believe that I couldn't love myself.
And I'm certain y'all know the story behind the whole, you know, that song, right? It's a response to Bruno Mars, I Can Be Your Man, or whatever the name of that song was. But it was direct. It was like quote for quote, line for line response to that song. But that's because that's the song that I think Liam dedicated to her, didn't he? So and if you don't know the whole story, go do a little research if you care enough. Go do a little research because you'll understand exactly why she's saying this.
Better than what he was loving me, and I can.
Yep.
Anything was feeling better than what I was going through at that point.
That's right,
like,
baby.
and you know that it's a problem when you just keep feeling over and over and over again. Like, man, I would have so much more peace being alone.
Yeah,
like, I'm willing to be lonely.
Yep.
Than to be in this.
Yeah.
I had to break up with him.
Yeah.
He didn't leave me no choice. Because at the end of the day, the things that he was willing to pull, and the way he was willing to humiliate me in front of my family and my friends, my ego was like, I can't go back at this
I know
point.
that's
I can't
right.
show up with you at the next event. Like,
I know that's right.
Looking dumb.
Sometimes
like,
your ego can save you, bro.
I know that I'm better off for it. But it's hard. One thing that it triggered for me was, how can I learn to trust again? You know, and how can I trust myself?
Yeah.
Because I allowed myself to see you for how I wanted to see you all this time.
Yep.
So how can I even trust myself to be able to attract healthy, good people for me? It is scary.
It's a process,
I feel
baby.
scared because it got to the point to where when I told him that I was done, and he knew I was done, that's when he decided, oh, I'll complain about everything. Every horrible thing I did throughout these 8 years. And I'm going to unload my burden onto you.
Wow.
And he disguised it in, oh, well, God's telling me to do this.
Woo! Let me tell you something. Those spiritual abusers, those spiritual narcissists are the worst kind, because they really do play on a person's relationship and vulnerability to God or to the sources of the universe or their spirituality. And that is a level of malicious manipulation that goes beyond, I don't want to say goes beyond forgiveness, because I guess you can forgive anything and everything if you have the capacity to do so. But spiritual manipulation and spiritual abuse is something that, and I think it's because of my relationship with the church and everything I went through, you know, when I used to follow religion and everything like that. It is evil. It's a whole nother level of evil when people use your relationship with God or your relationship with your spirituality against you. And use it as a form of abuse. Bro, that's evil. I can't.
That might be his reality. That might be what he's telling himself. You know, God told him to come clean. But also at the end of the day, that's a selfish thing.
Yeah,
because I was ready to move on. I didn't need to know every horrible thing that he did. I didn't need to know how he was willing to hurt me with the people closest to me. I didn't need to know that. I was already willing to move on. And so now he can walk away from the relationship and he can feel good about himself. Right? Because he unloaded his burden. He feels like a weight was off his shoulders. Well, now it's on me and I have to carry it. And I don't know how to do that.
That's a part of the abuse. That was his last hurrah. That was him shooting one last bullet.
This is exhausting, guys. It's exhausting.
That was him shooting one last bullet. Ooh, that's evil.
I'm left with knowing every dirty, sneaky, horrible thing he's ever done. And with people that I never thought would be that low and grimy. People that I let be close to me.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. That's what happened.
Damn.
Without telling you in complete detail of everything that happened.
What you said was enough, sweetheart.
And
you don't gotta
like
give
I
the
said,
details.
guys, I don't need you guys to run to my rescue or try to protect me and go and bash him. I don't need that. What I need is for you guys to
support her.
Let me share my story.
Yeah, just support her.
Let me share my piece, and hopefully,
with no judgment,
whoever's out there that can relate to the things that I'm saying, you can realize that you're not alone, and that no matter how I may have portrayed myself to be throughout these last 12 or so months, like as if I'm just fine and living life, you don't know what's going on with people.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't know how much somebody might be struggling.
That's right. That's right.
And it's been a struggle, but it's also been beautiful.
Yeah.
And I don't regret any of it because, like I said, I'm now in this place where I finally know what it's like to put myself first.
I know that's right.
And I don't have to be made felt bad about that.
That's right, baby. You keep doing that.
And I can be proud of myself.
That's it.
For willing to leave a relationship that's all I knew.
That's right. 17. That's right. And I feel like that's so important. We need to take a moment and applaud that because so many people don't make it out. So many people end up in a toxic situation and it gets so bad that nobody makes it out. So I am grateful that she made it out, and I hope that she continues to pursue her strength and pursue her own individual purpose, and set her own goals and aspirations and achieve many successes for herself. But it is going to be a healing process. Healing is all about time. It really is. It's about time, and it's about self-awareness. You cannot rush it, but you also can't put a time limit on it and say, well, I need 6 months, and you may be good at 6 weeks. You just got to fill it out. Healing is a process that you just got to fill out. You just got to kind of walk through that forest blindly, and whatever comes with healing, don't push it away. Don't reject it. Sometimes healing don't always look like healing. Sometimes healing look like getting hurt even more. You're like, I thought it was supposed to feel good. Healing is not supposed to feel good. You ever broke a bone? And when it's healing, the itching, the discomfort, the aching, oh God, like it's just healing. You ever get a scratch or something and it's itching when it's trying to heal? Healing is not comfortable. It's not comfortable. It's not. And you shouldn't try to look for comfort in healing. You should look for healing in healing. You know what I mean? The comfort will come later.
Years old, he was all I knew. He was my first everything.
Woo!
And that was so hard to let go of that.
I know, baby.
Especially because the women in my life, my mom, my aunt, other than, Nat, they are such beautiful women. And yet somehow they don't have this soulmate that we're all led to believe that we're going to have and be able to spend our life with. And so me seeing that reality, that was another reason why I allowed myself to deal with toxicity for so long.
I can see that.
So I'm just so proud of myself to say being alone is not the worst thing.
It is not.
To realize that being alone is not the worst thing.
And if you be alone long enough, you'll get to the point where you don't want to let nobody in. You be like, nah, I like this shit. If you know how to treat yourself. That's where I'm at. I'm trying to let folks in. If you know how to take care of yourself. If you can unapologetically pour into yourself. Levi, come on now. I'm trying to get this message out. Right. Levi telling you to preach to the choir.
Pause.
Levi said, preach to the choir.
Don't be afraid to be alone. Okay? And be so afraid to be alone that we're willing to put up with stuff from other people, and we're willing to convince ourselves that being in relationships are hard. It's supposed to be hard, right? And so we allow ourselves to deal with so much toxicity because that's what's drilled in your head. Yeah. That's all people say. Well, relationships are supposed to be hard and they take work.
No, they don't. Here's the thing. Relationships are not supposed to be hard. They do require effort because you can't meander or stumble through a relationship or move unintentionally through a relationship and expect it to remain successful. You do have to set purpose. You do have to set intention. You guys do need to understand where you're moving, what you're moving towards. So that takes effort, right? That takes collaboration. But it ain't supposed to be hard. Whoever said that is on some bullshit. The only reason why it's hard is because one or two of the people involved in the relationship are selfish. Selfishness is the only thing, inconsideration, narcissism, all the things. Those are the things that make relationships hard. If both people in a relationship are considerate, a relationship is going to be easy as hell.
there's
That's
also
not
a
true.
whole other side of that where sometimes relationships aren't supposed to be that damn hard.
No.
Okay? It's supposed
not
to
a
feel
sometimes
uplifting and good, and they shouldn't make you feel bad about yourself. Instead, they should be uplifting you. And if the good times aren't outweighing the bad, maybe it's time to start rethinking.
There you go.
Okay, maybe it's time to go back to the drawing board.
There you go.
I hope that this message reaches somebody who needs to hear it.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank you guys again. Whoever's watching this, even if it's only 10 of you guys, like, because I know I've been so ghost. I know I didn't treat you guys the way you guys deserved to be treated. And I just want you to know that I'm here now, though. I'm here now. And I'm going to continue to put energy into my platforms and share my message and share my stories.
There you go, baby.
Hopefully we could grow together. We
Absolutely.
can make something happen together. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I thank you guys for listening, for letting me get this off my chest. And see you in the next video.
That took a lot. That took a lot. I don't have anything to add at the end. I think I said everything that I needed to say in the video. I would love to hear you guys' comments. And even stories if you have them below. Please keep it respectful. Please understand that everything that I said in this video was not meant to be an attack. It was purely observational. I don't know either of these two people personally, and I hope that they both can grow and move forward from this in a more positive light. And I hope they both do some reflecting so that the next relationships they enter into will be healthier and more beneficial to them. Beyond that, I got nothing else to say. Solicit Nation, I love you guys. If you guys enjoyed this reaction as much as I did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Don't be afraid to share. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified every single time I upload. And if you've been here before, then you already know I gotta hit y'all with the deuces.
People are crazy. People are crazy. People are crazy.